Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and welcome to episode number 13 of an ongoing series, First Impression. Today's impression is going to focus on the indie detective mystery game, Unheard. Unheard was developed and published by Next Studios and had some publishing help by the company known as Bilibili. Now, the game is a detective game. It's about trying to solve a series of cases that otherwise seem unrelated, but you have a new little tool to help you. And what this tool does, it allows you to hear all of the voices, everything that was spoken at a particular crime scene, even after already having left the scene. And this allows you to get extra pieces that we would never otherwise have access to try to not only solve these cases, but find out how these cases are actually connected in a larger web of crime. Now, this is just on its very concept, super cool and interesting to me. I actually came across this game when I was shopping for other games, and they did a really good job with their logo. I was like, okay, your logo alone makes me interested in looking at this, so good job grabbing me with that. And the premise itself, I was like, that's cool, that's really awesome. I really want to know how this works. And so I picked it up, and I am very happy to try out Unheard, because it is an indie game. Indie games are normally from smaller, lesser known developers. They don't have these massive budgets. And so they have to not only do something different to stand out, but it also means that they don't have to follow the norms to try and chase massive sales to appease things like investors and shareholders. So you get to do something like a unique gimmick of a detective game where you are trying to solve it by voices of the past. And that's super awesome. So we are going to be playing Unheard. I honestly have no idea what to expect, as the amount of information on this game on the internet is none. The information that I have gotten is almost all completely from their store page, which is really fun. The game currently, as I said, is only available that I can find on PC, and it's a rather recent release. It launched in March of 2019. So without further ado, let's begin.
Alright, it doesn't waste any time at all. Yes, I agree to play your game. Although I am going to ask if you have audio options. Bilibili. Cool. I am wearing headphones, thank you.
Welcome, detective. Please, make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Alright, I'm comfortable.
I appreciate your coming in today, and I'm sure you're wondering what this is all about.
Actually, I read the promo for the game.
Technology is changing how we conduct investigations. So we're looking for exceptional candidates to test a new human-computer interface system.
You got it.
We think you might have what it takes. So let's get started. First of all, we'd like you to put on these headphones, but the room is equipped with speakers if you'd prefer. Next, we're going to show you a series of pictures. We want you to tell us what you see, or more importantly, what you hear. Go ahead and pick up the tablet in front of you. Try to relax. Think of this as sort of a game.
Meta joke.
Or a puzzle. Something to assess your interpretive and deductive skills.
Hey, what's wrong? What the hell's going on?
Click the play button to start the recording. Almost 3 minutes. Question to solve is... Man, they just drop you right into this. Okay. Interesting.
State your name, please.
Already told you. Tyler.
Click a sound source, then select the name who you think matches the voice. Okay. Well, he said that's Tyler.
Mm-hmm. But your car is registered under the name Cameron.
My brother lets me borrow his luxury vehicle sometimes.
You two look a lot alike.
You're not the first person to mistake us for each other. We're twins. Except he's a big shot CEO. He's on a magazine cover recently.
I pulled your sheet. A repeat offender. DUI, assault.
It's the people I hang out with, honest. I told the guys I shouldn't have been drinking, but they insisted. I swear, never again.
Do you have anything else you'd like to come clean on besides the DUI?
Not that I can think of. Why?
Drugs, perhaps.
Okay, this is just already, like, one real quick before I say anything else. They did some excellent voice work for this. Like, there's always a easy way to tell if someone has a good director when it comes to voice work. Because there are some people who are just bad voice actors, but I often feel that a lot of the time bad voice acting comes from bad direction. Because a lot of voice acting is just speaking. It's just talking like you would talk to your friend. But when you get people into a booth and, you know, you're trying to get them to talk a certain way, if you are not good at explaining to them or providing them examples of how they need to talk, then you get these weird robotic, like very fake sounding voice lines, like a lot of what you get in like English dubbed anime. And already just in this beginning 1 minute of conversation that we've had, this is exceptional work. So anyway, let's keep going.
Does that jog your memory?
Can I move?
Okay, we're done for now.
No, okay.
Wait here.
What drugs? What the hell's going on here?
Okay, I can move. Hang on. Can I go back in here? Okay. Okay, he's working things out. Can I go back and forth? Can I rewind? I can't rewind. Okay, hang on. I hope I'm able to go through this multiple times. Oh, she's talking to somebody.
Basics. He said he didn't know anything.
Figured as much. Follow me. I'll talk to him. Wait here.
Okay, hang on. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Why like this? Just stick to the story.
Can I seriously? Can I rewind? No.
As if I had another one.
I'm already in here.
What's your name, son? Tyler. Same old story, I see. If you're Tyler, then who's the Tyler in the room next door?
He's here too?
Let me ask you again. Who are you?
All right.
Change or delete the name tags at any time. Okay. So if this
This
is
isn't your
camera-
first time impersonating Tyler, is it? If it was only a DUI this time, you might have been able to pull off your little stunt again. But seriously, drugs? You really want to pin that on your brother, too?
What? Drugs?
We found a whole kilo in your trunk.
That's impossible. Okay, I drink too much, but I've never taken anything stronger than that.
Nice.
I want to see my lawyer.
Finally, there's the magic word. Amber, let's go.
You want to question him again once his lawyer gets here?
He's done nothing but lie straight from the start. We already read him his rights, but he didn't ask for a lawyer until now. The statement we got will hold up in court. Lawyer or no lawyer, we've got him.
Click the button below to listen to it again by following different characters exploring different rooms. Yes, please play it again. Yeah, I don't care about their conversation. There's somebody in here.
Take a seat. Thanks. The tips you provided us have all been checked out. We've got the guy and the drugs. There's just one thing I don't get. Why would you report your own brother?
Because he's got to learn to take responsibility for his own mistakes.
What do you mean by that?
We're twins, right? Identical. He's
Okay.
been pinning his fuck-ups on me ever since we were kids. But now he's rich and famous. And me? I'm trying hard just to get by.
Then why do you always take the fall for him? Until now, I mean.
Because he's older, by a couple minutes. But as the second son, I was considered the spoiled brat. So it was my duty to protect the rep of the rightful heir to our father's business. I guess I always thought, what's the harm adding a few misdemeanors to my rap sheet.
Pretty generous for a spoiled brat.
Don't believe me? Ask him. Fucker's probably still pretending to be me.
All right. What changed this time, then?
He racks up a couple moving violations, fine, whatever. But I ain't taking the fall for no drugs. That's some felony level shit.
Be right back.
All done, Marty.
Ah, Amber. How'd it go?
Asked him the basics. He said he didn't know anything.
Neither
Figured as
brother
much.
knows?
Follow me. I'll talk to him. Wait here. We'll need your signature for that affidavit.
Of course, officer. I need to make a phone call anyway.
Yeah, alright. Come on. Tell me the secret.
Of course they're gonna trace the source, and the dealer can ID me, so hurry up.
Oh, cool.
My brother? Pulling the same old stunt.
Interesting.
Yeah, I knew he'd try to blame me.
So I don't know if you can hear it while I'm like running around the room and stuff, but depending on where I stand, the audio changes.
But it's gonna backfire on him this time. Don't worry, he was already wasted when I popped open the car. Didn't notice a thing. The police are gonna nail him for possession and perjury. And when you finish this little errand, he won't even be able to offer up the dealer as part of a plea. He's going to jail, and I'm getting the business. My old man can't and won't help him this time. Not after Cameron got caught with what he did. You'll get your cut after I take over as heir. Anyway, no celebrating yet. Go do what you gotta do. And call me back when it's done.
Jesus. Okay, I don't need to play it again. I mean, okay, you're going to make me play it again to hit the answer button. So if I hit the answer button, it was Tyler. Yeah, absolutely. And you found the truth. Okay, close it.
Drugs, perhaps. Does that jog your memory?
Let me ask you again. Who are you?
All right. Cameron.
We found a whole kilo in your trunk.
That was epic. That
So
was cool.
you believe that the twins swapped their identities? Excellent assessment, detective.
You can tell me I'm wrong?
By this point, you've probably figured out you're reviewing a sort of surveillance recording. All of this data is contained in and processed by what we're calling the acoustic detective system. It allows you to freely navigate through past events using captured audio.
Are you walking around?
Ultimately, we're hoping to assemble a new investigative department that will rely heavily on this invention, both to solve cold cases and assist with new ones as they develop. You're off to a strong start. Let's get back to it, shall we? How about something more challenging?
All right, we'll do one more. I feel like we could stop there in terms of a first impression, but I think we need to see like an actual case. So I put in quotes there.
This is a floor plan of a local art gallery. The exhibition is about to start, but the only thing on display is an empty frame.
So we gotta find out who stole the picture. Who stole the real painting? Who has the real painting in the end? 7 minutes. Okay, never mind. I take back what I said. I don't need to go through another one. The concept is very, very clear. there's 7.5 minutes of recording for this one, which means, and with the way that you need to run around the rooms and everything, that means this is actually going to be like an hour at minimum. Just because of how many times I'm probably going to have to replay this to follow each of these people around. So I will instead stop it there because I can tell that the general premise is still the same, although I have more than one question to answer this time. Okay, it just gives you the 2 little answer blocks. Okay, anyway, that was... I'll save my thoughts for when we actually go to the outro for, the actual thoughts themselves. Although I kind of like this little guy has nice animation of just like running around. Anyway, I'll. By the way, does this timer go? Yeah, it does. Okay, just checking out the small little details. In any case, okay, that was interesting. I can see how this could take an immense amount of time. And I don't actually get paid to solve detective crimes, although if this was real, holy crap. In any capacity, I will pass it back to myself to probably, by the sounds of things, just keep gushing about this game. So, what'd you think, me? Peace.
Unheard ended up not being quite what I thought it was, which, I mean, you kind of take that dice roll every time you buy an indie game or play an indie game because, well, that's kind of part of what comes with being indie. Is that they get to make things how they want. When I first initially came across the game and saw what it was about this indie detective mystery game about how you were at a crime scene and you're listening to things that were unheard, I was initially kind of thinking that it was a bit of a more like mystical type thing where it's kind of more along the lines of like a form of tech. And like the first one we do is, we catch a dude that was framing his brother for having a kilogram of some form of drugs on him. And the next one is about a painting theft. And I mean, we didn't get very far, obviously. We got enough to understand how the game works and present it. And then I doubt there are very many variables at that point moving forward. It's just about really paying attention to the details and making markers and things like that. And so... But I was more, instead of thinking of like you run around just this map, which it's, I mean, if you're watching this, I hope that you watch the content portion of things. It's literally just this map that you move around the rooms in as kind of just like a pinpoint type deal and listen to the conversations that happened in these rooms. Whereas initially, I think my hope and my initial desire / potential expectation was more of like, we're at a murder scene that, may have happened like yesterday. And we are able to use this ability or this technology to listen to like what happened during the murder and use that to try and piece together a solution, which they can probably still do that. But I was not necessarily thinking of like this purely 2D environment where you're basically just kind of like a cursor with legs and the people are just circles. But I mean, it's indie. So I mean, they probably didn't have a massive budget to do what I am envisioning. And maybe they even envisioned that and were like, well, that'd be great if we had a whole lot more money. And maybe we'll see something along those lines at some point in time. But the different expectations aside, very, very cool. I do feel immediately, though, one thing that they need is that you have to listen through the whole time slot to be able to start it over. I just want to rewind. Like, just let me drag 30 seconds back and move to a different room and listen to what happened to this room. Let me scrub through the audio file and, figure out what happens where. Because, I mean, a lesson maybe later they only give you a certain number of listens to be able to solve the crime, in which case, then, if they give you the option to scrub through it, it kind of ruined that because, well, sorry. I mean, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work in any capacity if you're able to just scrub through in a single listen and they're wanting to restrict you to like a hard mode where you only can listen through it twice or something like that. But the general concept, super cool, and I could definitely see digging much, much deeper into it. I do worry personally, though, that I would start to not necessarily get bored, but just get tired of doing it. Like, initially, that first level that we did, it had just shy of 3 minutes of audio, and we probably listened to it 2, maybe 3 times. and in order to solve that, the brother was framing the other brother. But, and we were initially considering, yeah, we'll just keep going. And then the next one had almost 8 minutes of audio. And if I have to listen to 8 minutes of audio 3, 4, 5, 6 times, because there was like 7 people that were in that building, that's a lot of time to just re-listen to all of that over and over again. Which, I mean, if I was an actual detective and it was my job, sure, I'll listen to that audio from all of those different rooms and piece together and, solve it. That's not my job. It's not my job. And so, I mean, there is that, enjoyment of solving the case and stuff like that. But I think I would be less opposed to the idea if I could just scrub through it and not literally be like, okay, well, I probably missed something in this room, so I'm just going to follow this one person around for 7 minutes to try and get some more information, when I could just, if it looks like they're just dicking around in their room, then I could just move on to somebody else and, scrub the timeline back a little bit. I'm really hung up on that scrubbing through the timeline thing, and I apologize. I don't think I have much more to say on that. Really great premise. I have a lot of concerns about how enjoyable it will be, especially with longer audio files or just bigger cases. Because that initial one, we only had 4 people that we had to listen to, and realistically, we just had 2 rooms that we had to bounce between. And so with that in mind, we were able to get through it pretty quickly. But the second level had 5 or 6 rooms and 5 or 6 people, and that's a lot to follow around. Not necessarily in terms of they allow you to mark people's names and stuff like that, and that helps. But with the amount of time sheerly in the audio itself, it's just a bit off-putting. And that's really me. Anything that is just a massive time commitment that doesn't have some sort of payoff at certain parts through it is difficult for me. So I don't know what else to say on it, really. So I guess I'll just leave it right there. And this was a game that I completely came across, as I said, on Steam. If you would like to make a recommendation for a first impression, I strongly encourage you to do so. You can contact us on our Discord server. It's probably the best place. It's a good place you can discuss recommendations with other members of the community. There's a link to our Discord in the description down below, but feel free to send recommendations to us on social media as well. There's links to our Facebook page and our Twitter page in the description as well. If you want to support us, of course, you can always subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. That helps us grow, helps us be discovered by more viewers. And if you really want to support even beyond that, there is a Patreon link in that description down below to help keep this running, help pay for everything. We would sincerely appreciate it. Next week is something along the same lines of an indie title, but for a very different reason. I went specifically searching for a game because next week, which is the week Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd, I'm getting married. I will be getting married on Saturday, June 1st, and I'm super stoked about it. And I explained this in the video, in that I wanted to find a game that had something to do with a wedding. So with all that said, next week we are going to doing the Pepper Prince Episode 1 Red Hot Chili Wedding. That's its full name. It's really hard to say because it's just so many words. In any case, though, if you do check out one of those other videos or you catch us in our live stream, thank you and enjoy.